Ooh. All right, guys. So as you can tell, I'm really not good at soccer. Haven't played soccer in like maybe since I was like 3 years old, really. So I really don't know what I'm doing. But anyway, so today we're out here at One Touch Soccer, and we have a client today. Actually, very interesting client. But overall, today I'm trying to show you all, or I'll be teaching you all how I go about shooting sports, action sports, in particular football. So let me yeah, let's talk more about it in a second. All right, so right now currently actually in the facility there's a it's like a amateur youth soccer going on. So what's up, y'all? So we're back here in the lab, and as you all can see, the client that I was working with was an all-women's football team. And for those of you who don't know, that there is an all-women's football league, and it's known as the XFL, or the Extreme Football League, and it was previously known as the Lingerie Football League. So the team that I was working with was the Atlanta Empire, and they are the local team here in Atlanta. Jumping straight into it, if you guys are interested in shooting action sports, whether it's basketball or football, the one thing that you will absolutely need without a doubt is some form of stabilization. And for me, my stabilizer of choice is the DJI Ronin S. Now, for me personally, I don't always shoot with a gimbal, but on the times that I do, the Ronin is definitely 100% without a doubt is the go-to gimbal or stabilizer for me. Now, the reason why I still use this to this day is that one, I originally bought it when it first came out, but two, as far as for the camera bodies of choice that I shoot with, the payload and the weight capacity of the DJI Ronin S is perfect. Like, I don't need nothing bigger, I don't need nothing smaller. So outside of the upgrades from the Ronin S2, the DJI Ronin S is still the perfect gimbal for me. Now, the main reason why you want to shoot with some type of gimbal or stabilizer is, for one, you want to make sure that that horizon line is straight throughout your shoots. So seeing that you are shooting action sports, there are times and periods where you're moving very frantically trying to keep up with the athlete. So you're jerking the camera left and right, up and down, and then also running. So in order to keep, one, the horizon line straight, two, to keep the scene or the athlete in focus, and to also keep the shot stable, you will need some type of gimbal or stabilizer. So for me, that stabilizer is, again, the DJI Ronin S. So when it comes to actual camera setup, I kept it very minimum as possible. I literally shot this with one camera and one lens for literally everything. And the camera that I went with was the 1DX Mark II, is because it's a beast as far as battery life goes. But then also when it comes to autofocus, the 1DX Mark II has never failed me in any circumstance. So yeah, shout out to the 1DX. And then second, the lens of choice that I went with was the Sigma 35. Now, you guys all know the 35 is definitely one of my favorite focal lengths, but in particular for this shoot, I wanted to, one, be in the action with the actual athletes, but didn't want the footage to be too close. So as far as from a viewer aspect, I wanted you to feel like you were actually in the tryout or in the practice yourself, but I didn't want to make the shots too tight to where everything looked like detail shots. When it comes to like camera settings, I shot all of this in 1080p, but I decided to shoot everything at 60 frames a second. Now, the main reason why I decided to shoot everything at 60 was because when I came back in post, I knew I was going to be editing in the 24 timeline. So that footage was going to look very sporadic and jerky and, rushed almost. So that way the viewers, you all can see the intensity that these women had when they're actually practicing. So yeah, it was somewhat of a creative reasoning behind it. So hopefully, it all worked out in the end. So those are my tips and tricks for shooting action sports. If you guys like the actual video of me shooting with the Atlanta Empire, make sure to leave me a like on this video. If you didn't, that's cool too. But yeah, if you guys aren't subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. And yeah, I see you all in the next one. Peace.